The following is a special presentation from Broncos Television and the NFL. Reflections of Super Bowl XXXIII, back-to-back championships. With Steve Atwater, Rod Smith, and Ray Crockett.
In the divisional playoffs, John Elway and the Broncos faced Dan Marino and a Miami Dolphin team that had battered them earlier. What a difference 3 weeks made. This time it was all Denver, as the defending world champions literally dominated the Dolphins.
I just remember going into the game feeling like this is the kind of game plan we're used to having, and that,
yes,
and we had confidence in the plan, and, we were back hitting on all cylinders at that point.
Yeah, we were a man-to-man pressure defense. That's what we were all year. Straight man, bring pressure off the corner, bring Steve up the middle. I mean, we were that type of team. We were a gunslinging team. We were going to win or lose by the pressure and by the gun. And we came out this game with that type of game plan. So it was exciting.
This was part of revenge tour. Everybody we had to get some revenge on. In that last year, we got them Jacksonville, Miami, got them all back.
No, but Rod, the start of this game, Rod, it was so crazy. The first play of the game, Steve, I don't know if you remember, the first play of the game was all-out blitz. We called it all-out blitz, the first play of the game. I walked up on Lamar. You remember Lamar, the receiver they had?
Yeah. Lamar
Thomas, that first game, we didn't bump the whole game, and he had an incredible game. He had probably 150 yards receiving that game.
Oh, he thought he was going to do that again.
Yeah, the first play we walked up, I walked up and bumped Rod, and you know how I used to do. I hit him straight in the face. I just jammed him straight in the face. He was like, "Oh, it's going to be that kind of game?" Yeah, it's going to be that kind of game.
A little different than the last time we saw you.
Yeah, a little different than what y'all saw Monday night.
Yeah, by the way, man, Romo had an interception. Neil Smith, the 79-yard fumble recovery for a touchdown.
Yep.
Big plays in big games, man. That's what you got to have from the big-time players.
Everybody clicking.
Yes. AFC Championship game against
don't leave out TD, though. How many yards did TD have this game? It was a playoff record.
Powered by the game's best offensive line and Tom Nalen, Dan Neal, Tony Jones, Harry Swade, Matt Lepsis, Wayne Coswell, and Mark Schlereth, TD carved out 199 yards on the ground and 2 touchdowns.
Here comes Davis, gets a good walk from Chamberlain. TD cuts back again, 10, 5. He will walk into the end zone, touchdown Denver.
There's only one way you win championships, and that's with great defense. Congratulations, man.
In the AFC Championship, the challenge of facing the New York Jets was compounded by Mother Nature, as throughout the day, gusting winds would challenge even the tightest spirals.
John, your wind's pretty strong, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a lot stronger out there, too.
I know.
We understand now the wind gusts got up to 45 miles per hour, so it's not a good day to fly a kite and not a great day to throw a football.
In the first half, the Broncos were shut out and nearly crashed in the turbulent winds of Mile High.
We were more interested in seeing who won that Atlanta and Vikings game, and in the meantime, the Jets started off just kicking our butts. We were getting our butts handed to us, Steve, that first half. Because we weren't really into that game.
Burns got this fumble. Burns got this fumble off of the kickoff.
Yeah.
And that
win, man. It turned on that Mile High Magic. It appeared right at the right time.
Yeah. Well, we needed something to jumpstart off because remember we were losing at halftime. We were losing, I think, 10-0 or something like that at halftime.
Yeah.
So at halftime, the Minnesota Vikings had lost. We already knew that it was Atlanta. Our mindsets had shifted, and mentally we were back into the game, and we was like, let's go get them. And all we needed was a little magic, and Mile High delivered that for us. That kick.
Crack. Oh, you called it an interception, that Crack?
Oh yeah, man. I called two interceptions.
Yeah, DC
Steve
got that
actually
thing.
called the fumble right there at the end.
Yeah,
so
6 turnovers, man.
DG had 2 interceptions. Steve calls that fumble. I mean, like I said, man, we really defensively
6 turnovers.
We really turned it on.
Yeah. Hey, that was big, man. And Elway's last game at Mile High Stadium, I can imagine how emotional that was for him. It was my last game there too, as a Bronco.
and you know what was crazy, Steve? I was going to ask you that too. Going into this season, now that we're close to the end of it, and we're close to, you know, what you just mentioned, did you have any clue, any part of you?
Yeah.
Did you feel like it was going to be your last year there?
Yeah, well, primarily because in a lot of the games on third downs, they would pull me out and they would put in Darius Johnson or someone else at the safety position on third downs. So for me, I'm like, I still can run. I'm healthy. I think that was just a way they kind of gave me a signal without really just coming out and telling me. So yeah, but I was good with it. You know, it's part of the process. You know, everybody's career is going to end at some point. So it was good. It was still good.
And see, that's what was so crazy because, you know, I'm writing my book. You and Rod know that I wrote in my book, and I talked a little bit about that season. And me being such a team guy, you being, you know, my best friend on the team and on defense and what, I didn't even notice it. Like, that's how, Rod, that's how well we took our roles and how we really was honed in on just winning. That I didn't even notice them not taking you out on third down.
Yeah, I wasn't pouting about it. I wasn't, man, come on, man, why am I coming out the game on third?
And see, and that's what a Hall of Fame All-Pro guy would have done had he not been on our team and had you not been the type of guy who was thinking about let's win first. Because I had no idea that they was phasing you out of the game plan. And here you are, you're saying you knew it all along.
Yeah. But hey, it was all good, though. It was all good.
Felt good to win that AFC, but what we talked about before, there's one goal we've had from day one, and that's that Super Bowl. Enjoy the win, but we're coming back with one thing in mind, and that's that second ring. Get ready for those Atlanta Falcons, man. Okay?
Come on, House, let's rock it.
In Super Bowl XXXIII, John Elway became the first quarterback to ever start in 5 different Super Bowls, while Denver's opponent would experience pro football's biggest game for the first time.
This is the Super Bowl. Not bad.
The Atlanta Falcons were the NFC's surprise entry. The Broncos were where they were supposed to be.
I noticed 2 things about that game. One, Rod, you would know this because you and I hung out together. It was just a total different feeling than the first Super Bowl. The first Super Bowl playing Green Bay, Mike was like a Army sergeant as far as how he went about the game plan. This one, you could feel just the confidence across the whole organization as far as let's do what we got to do. Let's go out and do what we're supposed to do. Mike was more relaxed with the team. He gave us 3 straight days with no curfew. He was like, get it all out your system. Yeah. We're in Miami. Go enjoy Miami. And when I see you guys back after this third, it's about this business. Yeah. So it was totally a different feeling as far as confidence-wise. And I think, like you said, Steve, not only were the coaches confident, the players were as well, and we were fed up with it. I was tired of hearing the talk.
Though, right? I mean, we weren't out hanging out and getting in trouble.
Oh no, we weren't doing what Atlanta did.
Yeah, you say what?
So we weren't doing what Atlanta did. You remember that's the game that Robinson just got Man of the Year and got caught up hanging out in Miami. So Miami is a place that can catch you up But no, we were about business. We just understood that we had 3 days to have fun and enjoy ourselves. And then we was about getting this Super Bowl win. We was about getting this business done.
We believe we should have won 3 in a row. We believe we had a better team, 96. But here's the thing. We had a better individuals. We didn't have a better team.
Right.
And this was proof of a better team because the coaches literally didn't coach us at all most of this season. They guided us, but they didn't coach us. They didn't have to tell us nothing about X and O. They didn't have to tell us nothing about being on time. They didn't have to tell us nothing about discipline. All they had to say, here's the plan. Yes, sir. We go execute the plan, and whoever was in the way was in the way.
Yeah. And the thing about this game for me, which was so crazy, Steve, you'll remember that, Rod, this was one of those games. It was one of those, I think everybody had little personal battles inside of their own heads that they had to overcome as well. Because Steve, like you just mentioned, you're thinking to yourself, possibly this might be your last game as a Bronco.
Oh man, I remember leaving the facility when we had our final practice. When we were leaving to go to Miami, man. I had tears in my eyes, man, because I knew it.
And see, Steve, this was what I was going to mention, Rob, was that now that Steve says that, I remember Steve us walking off the field, and I remember you telling me, you probably remember this conversation. You remember telling me, man, it was great playing with you, man. It was great playing with you. And I was like, what are you talking about? What are you talking about? You was like, man, it was great playing with you, man. I'm just thinking you joking around. But you had, you knew inside that you were thinking. And then with me, Rod, you didn't even know, Rod, this game. Rod, I couldn't even lift my left arm. I had separated my shoulder a week before this game. I literally couldn't even lift my left arm. And Steve, remember, this was the game when the game plan, I was supposed to be guarding Tony Martin. And Steve and DG took Tony Martin, basically doubled him the whole game and put me on the other guy. So basically, so I could hide.
Hey, you had that one arm over there. You can take the number 2 receiver.
And I remember telling Steve Rod, I was like, I can tell you how it is. If he catch the ball, y'all better come help me because I can't tackle him.
Yeah. No, we did a good job of communicating, though, to make sure that, when somebody was at a disadvantage, man, we either covered you up or, we did something to, make up for it.
That's what we worked. That's what we played so hard for. Just remember, we can't win in the first quarter, second quarter. We got to play 60 minutes of Bronco football. We'll be world champs. Let's go Broncos on 3. 1, 2, 3. Broncos!
Who's going to call your toss?
We get a sign. No. Terrell Davis, I believe.
Good.
Ask Terrell. He'll do it.
Super Bowl 33 is underway. Chandler drops straight back, pressure, and he's down. Romanowski's got him, and down he goes at the 17-yard line.
Great job, Bill.
From the start, the Falcons concentrated on taking Terrell Davis out of the game, believing that at the age of 38, Elway couldn't beat them. They were
Snap
wrong.
is good. 4-man rush. Elway with a little pass caught. Smith.
I remember Sharp that game. And Steve, you're talking about listening to the players and the players having that relationship and that rapport with the coaches that they could talk to. That was supposed to be a big game for Sharp. Because you guys probably, you remember him, Ronnie Bradford was on the Falcons. And Shanahan knew that Sharp could dominate Ronnie Bradford. So Sharp was supposed to have a big game, but that's the game that Sharp hurt his knee in the first quarter. And it was like the game plan shifted quickly from Sharp to Rod. And all of a sudden now Rod goes off because they switched their defense because Sharp wasn't in the game. They switched their defense to come up and stop TD more and left Rod back there running against zones, which, that's not a good plan.
Most people don't know that 80-yard bomb that I caught, we made that play up on the sideline.
Is this a safety right here with the zone dog?
Yeah.
Okay.
That corner, that's Bradford over there.
Okay. Well, that'll be great, because if they do that and we do go with our arrow or something, they're dead. I think right here, the way they're near left slot, if we'll go fake 15 quarterback, keep pass right, the way they're playing. I want to go near left with a C counter motion, fake 19 handle quarterback, keep pass right, X post. Oh, it's going to be wide open. It is going to be wide open.
Coach Shanahan came over there to me and said, hey, we're going to call keep pass right. And I'm supposed to run a clear out almost to the outside. He said,
corner, like corner right?
Yeah, I'm supposed to run a clear out hang on the sideline to the right. He said, listen, Eugene is robbing Ed on the crosser, run a post. I'm like, what? He said, hey, we're going to call keep right. We ain't going to tell nobody. But you and John run a post. Okay. I just sat there and I didn't even say nothing. Next time we got the ball back, he called, hey, fake 19, quarterback, keep pass right. And everybody know what they got except for me. I did something completely different. They had just put that in because Kubiak saw him robbing the crossing route, but that's a veteran team. He could change it literally on the spot, and I end up getting one of the biggest, matter of fact, I think right now it's the second longest touchdown pass in Super Bowl history.
It's amazing when you have coaches who listen to the input from the players. You guys felt comfortable enough giving the coaches that input, and it really made a big difference in scoring points. And just
No, it was great, man. They really took our advice to heart. You know, that we're the ones on the field. They put a game plan together, but it's never going to be exactly the way they put. We had a few times it was exactly what they put in, but they trusted us enough to make adjustments on the fly, and they would make adjustments on the fly, and it would work, man. And that's that relationship that you had that was really more than sports. To me, it was more of the personal relationship. My personal relationship with the coaches now is better than it was when I played with them or played for them. You know, Coach Kubiak, mad love every time. Any of them, even the ones who went off and coached other teams, when they came back to Denver, if I was on the sideline of the game, I went and sought them to give them a hug and wish them well. And that's the type of relationship we've had up and down the roster for all these years, for 20 plus years. That's the type of relationship we've always had.
Keep them going. Don't let up, man. You gotta get that defensive roll on the roll. Look what you guys done in the playoffs. Let's go, baby. Let's go, baby. Give up a touchdown. You know what I'm saying? You can't get up a touchdown. You haven't yet. You're not gonna.
Denver's defense rose to this challenge as Greg Robinson's gang dominated the Falcons' vaunted running game. In the first quarter, Denver's defense was tested when Atlanta chose to gamble on 4th and 1 instead of kicking a field goal.
Toss right side, bounce deep as Anderson. He's in trouble, and the Broncos have him. Yeah! Big play by the Broncos defense. Glenn Cadrez and Keith Traylor. A 3-yard loss in the play, and the Denver defense comes up big.
All night long, the Broncos D came up big. Whether pressuring the Falcon passer or preventing touchdowns, the Broncos rose to every challenge.
The whole year, that's how the coaches trusted the next guy up mentality. You know, it may have been a game for Sharp to have a big game, but when Sharp got hurt, it was, okay, Rob, next guy up. And Rob went right off and did work. So that's one of those, that's what I feel. If you look back at that whole year was that kind of feel, even on defense, the same way. Whereas I was supposed to have a big game against Tony Martin because you and I was going to do a lot of combination coverages. Well, DG was healthy, so he ends up doing the combination because he gets 2 interceptions. Yeah. Next guy up. You know what I'm saying? Next guy, that could have been me.
Right.
Chandler throws to the end zone. Pass is going to be picked off, and Darian goes.
3 straight Falcon possessions ended with an interception.
Porter still on his feet. He's into Atlanta territory.
And on the third one, Elway would make the Falcons pay.
We go after him? What do you think? We go after him? Want to go after him? X deep cross, Y seam. H2.
So Denver in great field position once again at the Falcon 48. You wonder if they'll go for the home run ball here.
Ran the next time.
Elway, play fake, deep in the pocket, pressure as John steps up, dumps it. Pass is going to be caught, Terrell Davis. He's going to have a first down, and down the sideline it goes. TD is going to be inside the 20, inside the 15, and knocked out of bounds. They say he didn't have any speed. He looked like he was electrified on that one. He made a shake, and I don't know, I think it was Eugene Robinson. Robinson trying to square the shoulders, gets just juked, dives, and then they have to run him out of bounds way down the field.
It had been a demanding day for the league's MVP, Terrell Davis. Shadowed by a defense determined to stop him, yards came hard for number 30.
Two jet solid halfback choice.
Though slowed by cramps, number 30 toughed it out. And behind the blocking of Howard Griffith, the best fullback in football, TD kept attacking Atlanta's swarming defense. Late in the fourth quarter, Davis was finally within striking distance of an NFL playoff record.
What's that?
And 95 yards.
TD does? Strong left, slot F left, 19 pitch force. Hey, John, good pitch.
Terrell Davis became the only runner in NFL history to rush for over 100 yards in 8 straight playoff games. The Falcons had dared John Elway to beat them with his arm. And with 336 yards, the third highest passing total in Super Bowl history, number 7 did just that. To put the game away, however, Elway would use his legs.
Okay, let's go base and go strong right, zoom, B right, C left, quarterback draw. We'll score here. Base personnel, base.
Griffith now in motion to the left. Elway with an empty backfield runs a quarterback draw, lunges to the goal line. He is in.
Yeah!
Touchdown, John Elway and Denver. Well, we've seen that a number of times in 16 years. Elway with a design draw. He gets up with a big smile on his face, and why not?
It was fitting that the man who had been Denver's heart and soul for 16 seasons scored its final touchdown of Super Bowl XXXIII. Leading 34-19 late in the fourth quarter.
Proud of you, bud. Love you. Great job.
All that was left was to orchestrate a coronation fit for an MVP.
Let me ask you guys, because I know what I feel. I want to get your answer. From the first Super Bowl win, we were ecstatic. We were all,
I tried to go past that, Croc. I know you.
Yeah, we were elated. What did you feel? What was your feeling after this win? Let's just put it to the thought process of walking off the field against Green Bay, your feeling. Walking off the field against Atlanta, what's your feeling now?
Well, I was extremely happy to win back-to-back Super Bowls, but I cannot lie and say I was excited as I was for winning the first one, because for the first one, there was so much at stake. The organization hadn't won a Super Bowl. The AFC hadn't won a Super Bowl in, I want to say, 13, 14 years. It's a lot of pressure off with that first one. And the second one, I don't know, it just felt like we should have won, you know.
Right.
But I definitely was happy and appreciative. Not, you know, I didn't take it for granted, but you know, it was a little less. Like I said, I was a little less ecstatic than I was.
No, I agree with you, man. The first one for me, like I said, I didn't have a catch, but I got I used to always say this: my ring same size as theirs.
Exactly.
Right.
Exact same size. I said.
You was probably a little big with them big fingers you got.
Hey, but it was that first one was really the deal. You know, the second one, it was like we were supposed to do that. That made up for the year that we lost, so to speak. And it was great. You guys probably don't remember in practice the whole year. The second year, I wore number 2. I used to wear number 2 in practice. I didn't even wear number 8 in practice. It was like, who the hell is number 2? I was going for second Super Bowl in my head, so I wore number 2 all year in practice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's crazy. That's
the next year I wore number 3. No, the next year I wore number 3, and we got the brakes beat off us. We started off 0-4.
and see that, and I'm feeling like you guys.
That's another story.
Like you guys, Steve. I felt the first, 96, embarrassed.
Yeah.
You know, totally embarrassed. 97, you know, ecstatic, just totally elated. And 98, relieved. That's it. I was just relieved.
Yes.
I was tired. I was beat down. You're talking about long seasons from 96, 97, 98. My shoulders beat up. I was just relieved and thankful that it was over. And that's crazy how you think about it's still you're a champion again, but being a champion brings different thoughts and different feelings each time it's done.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Thank you.
And Denver will become the 6th franchise in NFL history to win back-to-back Super Bowls.
Congratulations, man.
Congratulations, Neil. Proud of you.
Man, you hell of a dude, man.
Proud of
You
you,
put that together.
Proud of you.
You in the elite group now.
You made it. You made it happen.
Super Bowl 33 is history. The Denver Broncos have beaten the Atlanta Falcons 34-19, and they are back-to-back Super Bowl champions.
It's crazy. It's just crazy how that second one was just, to me, was more just relief and we did it type thing rather than the adulation and all that stuff that went with the first one. I mean, I just don't remember. And I'm being honest, Rod, do you even remember it? You may remember it, but do you remember the confetti from the second one?
Not really.
That's what I'm saying.
We was running around hugging each other and doing the stuff that we normally do. I remember
but
going
the first one was confetti crazy and all that stuff.
Yeah, I remember going up on the podium and that type of deal. But the first one, everything is, you remember everything about the first.
Yes.
The second one is
that's
like,
what's so crazy.
The second one to me was more, like you say, it was more the makeup for the one that we missed.
Right.
It's like, okay, I can relax now. Now that's not my last great memory of defeat. And back to back was puts on another level.
For me, it spoke volumes to me for my legacy personally, as far as being a captain on a back-to-back Super Bowl team, because it's like that's stuff that your legacy is built of. And I knew a lot of guys who had one ring. I didn't know a lot of guys other than the Cowboys that had 2 or 3. So for me, that last year, I took it personal to make sure I was going to be the best leader I could, the best player I could, and the best teammate I could to get to that spot, because I was thinking in my mind, I saw how it felt for the Cowboys to have 3 rings, multiple championships. And I'm like, you guys don't know, but man, winning 1 is cool, but winning 2 is legacy. That's the legacy moment. And that's what it was for me, Steve. I wanted us to be on that list with the Pittsburgh Steelers, with the Dallas Cowboys, with the 49ers. I wanted us to be on that list and say, we went back to back too.
Hey man, I really appreciate you guys taking time out of your business. Well, I don't know how busy your guys are now. You can't be too busy with this COVID-19 going on. But I really do appreciate you, man. You guys are my best friends, man. I love you. And we have to do it again sometime.
Absolutely.
Man, for sure. I want to say, man, I'm glad that everybody is healthy, Steve, and praying for all of the Bronco fans, and I'm praying that everybody is safe during this time, and that we're all smart and go about this thing the right way, man, so we can get back to normal. But just praying for everybody's health, and glad to see my brothers, man. Glad to see you guys are doing well.
Absolutely. Thank you guys. I appreciate you.